artist production.
This is your boy Derrick Huggins with All Access Gospel. I'm so excited that this is our actual very first interview with an artist, and I could not think of anyone better to do my first interview with than the incomparable, the amazing. And listen, if you do not know this lady, trust me, before too long, you will absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, know who she is. She is truly a force in the industry. I really believe an unsung hero to so many out there in the land. But without further ado, I want to introduce to some and present to others the incomparable, the incredible, the phenomenally talented Miss CeCe Godbolt. Hey, CeCe.
Hey, Derrick, how are you, my brother? I'm like, who's he talking about? Me? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really
Absolutely.
do. Yes.
Yeah, well, I am great. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on. And
of course.
you know, you're making history.
Well, Derrick, I'm trying to make it happen. It's really kingdom building. Hey, my song says make it happen, and that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to make it happen.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview, and you're again making history by being my very first artist that I'm interviewing for All Access Gospel. Now, I want to give a little background information for our viewers to let them know. You guys, CeCe is one of the first artists named to the All Access Gospel Indie Artist Corner. And so this is a special feature that we're doing for indie artists out there that may be looking for exposure and an opportunity for people to know who you are. This is the platform for you. So again, CeCe, thank you so much. I got to tell you a little bit before I let her tell you about herself, just who she is to me and to this community. Again, she's done so many wonderful things, and I'll let her tell her own story, but I just wanted to let you guys know that there are so many wonderful artists and talents out there like CeCe that I really hope that this platform will be an opportunity to really expose all of you guys to the mass. Okay, so CeCe.
Yes.
Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So first, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor.
Okay.
Turn your volume down on your end, so that way.
Okay.
So that way, when we're speaking, there won't be much feedback. Okay.
Okay.
Not too much, because we want to be able to hear you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Very good. So all right. So CeCe, it's just again a pleasure. I can't even believe I got you on here. Thank you so much for agreeing to take time out of your busy schedule to be a part of the All Access Gospel Independent Artist Corner series of interviews. And I'm just excited. So with that being said, I want to start with the beginning. Just go ahead and tell people, briefly about who CeCe Godbolt is.
Well, I'm CeCe Godbolt, gospel recording artist and actress. I am originally from Camden, Arkansas. I've been in Dallas for the last 18, 19 years. I was brought up and raised in church. My father actually was a singer. He sung in a quartet group back home. And I guess I just, that ministry just came, lingered on to me, the gift, from my father. So I've been singing since I was 5 years old. Wow. Professionally, probably the last 14, 15 years. I had an opportunity also to appear on Showtime at the Apollo, and I won twice. Yes, I've done a lot of things with Dr. Bobby Jones with the New Artist Showcase. I've been in several plays. I've had an opportunity to meet some awesome national recording artists and share the stage with a lot of them, like Tamla Mann, Tasha Cobbs on the Jimmy Spivey gigantic concert. I had a chance to participate in that on twice. And
shout out Jimmy Spivey, Jay Spivey.
Yeah, so I'm just I'm out here. It's a faith walk for me. It's it's been a journey, but God is good because I know what God has called me to do, and I'm just looking forward to what God has in store for CeCe. And I truly believe that, you know, as they say, the sky is the limit. But I truly know that whom God has called, He also has equipped, also, you know, for the journey. So CeCe is just a country girl from Camden, and just trying to make a little noise in Dallas and surrounding areas and nationally wise. I love the Lord with all my heart and soul, because God has truly been so good to me, and I don't take it lightly when I minister, because it's all about Him and it's never about me, and it's just humility, you know. And so I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to you also for the many opportunities that you've given me, even with the Key of Gospel. I thank God for, you know, all of those opportunities and what you're doing now, even with All Access Gospel. I mean, you could have thought of anybody else, but you thought of me, and I thank you so much. So I'm just here. I'm just trying to do what God has called me to do through the ministry and touch lives, touch the people, because people need to hear the music through what I have to offer. You know, so I'm just grateful to all that he's done for me. I've traveled internationally. I've been to Barcelona, Spain. I've been to Italy. I've had an opportunity to travel there with a group for a whole month to sing. And so it's been a great journey. God has really opened a lot of doors for me, and I'm looking forward to the many more that He has, you know, for me. So,
well, first of all, I mean, you know, as far as the Key of Gospel, I know you mentioned that, and for those of you that are watching that don't know, I am the CEO founder of the Key of Gospel Awards. We're actually going into our 5th year. God's been good, and I know we know 5 is the number of grace, and He's graced us to do 5 years. We're going to be in Tampa, Florida this September. So it's going to be a great time. I believe we're going to get to see CeCe.
I hope so. I hope so, yes.
Okay. So, you know, anyway, you know, you've won Key of Gospel.
I did.
So tell the people about that.
Yes, you know, it was just so amazing, because I remember the very first time that I was nominated for the Key of Gospel. My first time, I mean, because I'm like, okay, who's doing this number? Who's doing this? I don't even know. And I was thankful that somebody thought of me even the first time.
Sure.
And then the second time, you know, I was nominated, and then I won Traditional Female Artist of the Year. I'm like, okay, God, look at God. So that was so exciting to me, to be recognized for your gift. You know, that's an humbling experience for me, you know. And again, I just thank God for the opportunity and to, you know, be thought of. And also, I wanted to also share also to people that's listening that I have also released my second CD titled Make It Happen. Yay!
Yeah, Make It Happen.
Last year, and it's doing well. God is good, and I'm looking forward to the 3rd one, the 4th one, 5th one, if God says so. But it's titled Make It Happen. It's out there on all digital outlets, iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music, Pandora, Tidal. So, I mean, you know, go and download your girl. Make it happen.
Yes. I definitely want to unpack that album, Make It Happen. And you and I, you know, I've talked to you before about, I really love that title. And I love that because I just feel like it's a metaphor for life. It's something that we all should do. You know, a lot of times, CeCe, and I know you can relate to this, a lot of times we hear people that are in the religious community or spiritual community, a lot of times we hear, oh, we're praying on God, we're waiting on God. But I believe that God gives us a certain amount of ingenuity and creative ability to do things ourselves. We just keep Him in the forefront of it, right? And recognize that He empowers us, or He endows us with the abilities to do what we do, but we still got to make it happen.
We got to make it happen. We got to, because I mean, He can afford us everything that we need, but He wants to see what are we going to do. You know, we got to make it happen, and that's really what it's about. Because the song, the Lord gave that song to me, well, the words and everything to me. I wrote that song, and it was really not about. I think when people think about make it happen, I'm talking about making it happen for kingdom building, not so much as, you know, the platform of where I am or whatever, but it's kingdom building. And whatever God has given you and whatever gift, you know, use it and make it happen for His glory.
Right. Well, you know, I'm going to push the envelope a little bit on that point. And I know it's probably not popular to say things like this, but I'm going to even go a little further. I do believe that make it happen is also, you know, putting yourself in certain position so that you can be seen. Because to be honest with you, CeCe, I learned about you from something else, you know, another event. And
Oh,
that's the point, that we understand that God is the one steering the ship, but every now
right.
and again, we have to make sure that we're doing things so that people know. I often say it like this. You can find the best chicken this side of the Mississippi, but if you don't put it out there so people can taste it,
Who will know? Right.
who will know,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
qualify that a little bit and not
Yeah.
necessarily go against what you're saying, but just to
Mhm.
compliment what you're saying.
Right,
That
yeah,
to
because
all these
we do have
artists,
to make it happen. Yeah, no matter, where we are, what platforms, and it's an opportunity, when you're out there and trying to make it happen where others can, hear you and see you, just like you said, because you met me or heard me maybe someplace, but it was about wherever I was trying to make it happen. And I guess
yeah,
I did because, look now, our relationship, and God is
right.
just good. Yes.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's incredibly important. And we're going to talk about Make It Happen, the album, and more about the songs and what
Okay.
inspired you to make the record. But before we do that, I want to, because I know you talked about Jimmy Spivey. Shout out to him. He follows
Yes.
us, CeCe, so he will see this interview because he follows us on Instagram. And so I'll be sharing a portion of this interview on Instagram
Oh,
for those that
wow.
want to see
Okay.
it. But
Mm-hmm.
so by the way, those of you that are watching, go follow us on social media. We're
Mm-hmm.
at All Access Gospel. All right. So make sure you go follow us on, like us on all social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. But yeah, J Spivey Productions. Those of us, especially, like, he's king here in Texas, because he does the gigantic gospel concerts. And I
Yes.
remember the time that you were on that platform, CeCe. So tell us a little bit about that and what that was like.
Oh, wow, Derrick. It was such a what happened? Uh-oh. That's
There we
nothing but the enemy. Okay, we're back. It was such an humbling experience to have the opportunity to be a part of that platform, to share the stage with the legendary, I'm like Shirley Caesar and Vanessa Bell Armstrong, Tasha Cobbs, Tamala Mann. You
Wow.
had Jessica Reedy one
Wow.
year.
Yeah.
It was just mind blowing for me.
Yeah.
And I
Sure.
was so grateful to him
Mhm.
because not one time did he allow me that opportunity to be a part of it, but he reached back to me for a second time to
Wow.
be a part of it. And I was like, me, but
Yes.
it really says a lot, about the ministry and how I represent,
Yes.
myself to others.
Absolutely.
And so I
Sure.
was just so grateful to him for that opportunity. It was just amazing. And I would never forget him for that.
Yeah, and I'll
Mhm.
tell you, you guys, again, for those that are watching, because I know we'll have people watching globally. For those of you that are watching, if you don't know who Jay Spivey is, Jay Spivey Productions, I mean, again, he's king here in Texas. I mean, he puts on, when he calls it a gigantic gospel concert, that's exactly what it is. It is
Yes,
truly epic. It is huge.
it is.
One of the events that I personally look forward to every year, and he does it in such grand fashion. Like you said, I mean, on one ticket, I mean, one year it was like the Clark sisters, and Kim Burrell was hosting, and Shirley Caesar, and Jacqueline
Mhm.
Carr, and Cece
Mhm.
Godbolt, and so
Mhm.
many of
Mhm.
these artists on one stage.
On
It
stage.
is just incredible. But I ain't
Yes.
gonna spend too much time on that. But again, shout out to Jay Spivey. Thank you again for both of us,
Yes.
reaching out to
Thank
us
you.
and supporting both of our careers and ministry. So shout out to Jay Spivey. So CeCe, let's talk about your album, Make It Happen.
Okay.
And I know you said it's out digitally on everywhere. So tell just a
Mhm.
couple of the outlets that people can go and get it.
Well, yeah, you can download it again. It's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, it's on Apple Music, Pandora, Tidal. You can also go on my website, which is www.ccgodbolt.net, and request a copy of it. Again, it's called Make It Happen. And I released it April of 2019. There's about 12 songs on that album, about 3 that I wrote. I also collab with Tim Bishop Brown, who actually wrote the song that Beverly Crawford song. I think he's done enough. And then
Nice.
also another man named Lou Lang, who wrote some songs for me as well. But that album itself is very inspirational, between contemporary, traditional too, because sometimes you got to reach everybody, not
Mm-hmm.
just one group of people, but kind of everybody. So you have To God Be the Glory on there. I recorded that song. And it's so amazing because I would sing that song places before I recorded, and everybody would come say, you need to record that song. You need to record To God Be the Glory. And I was like, okay. And so I did, because a lot of people don't know about To God Be the Glory.
Sure.
They don't. But I recorded that song, and again, Make It Happen. And it's an upbeat, uplifting CD that would just, touch everybody.
So, CeCe, you are an award winner. You are an actress. You are a recording artist. So tell the people, tell all our All Access Gospel viewers about, just some of the projects you've worked on. I think currently you're in a stage play. Is that correct?
Yes. I've been in several stage plays. We had Honor Thy Mother years ago. I was in that. I was in What a Sister Should Do. And a lot of Evelyn Jones Reed. I don't know if everybody know Evelyn Jones Reed, but she's an awesome playwright out of Fort Worth. And I've been in a lot of her plays. And recently I was in Soul Purpose. We won Best Stage Play out of Phoenix. They do like this Church Stars event every year. Yeah. And we won Best Stage Play. And then one year I won Best Actress in a Stage Play.
Wow.
Yes, I did. And so we're getting ready to tour the Soul Purpose Stage Play, and it was written by Sharicia Curtis. We're going to Houston May 1st and 2nd, and then we're going to New Orleans June 19th and 20th weekend. And I play, believe it or not, First Lady. Yeah. I'm married to a minister.
You First Lady? Of course.
So I'm playing the role of First Lady who's married to a minister. And it's really a challenging role, but it's an awesome play because truly I do believe that everyone has a purpose. Every soul has a purpose. And it's really centered around 5 women who are kind of going through a struggle. We come together and find our purpose together. So it's awesome. So anybody that's, watching, if you're in the Houston area or surrounding area, go online. That's soulpurposestageplay.com. Get your tickets. We'll be in Houston at the Wortham Center on May 1st and May 2nd.
Well, you guys make sure you definitely go check out CeCe. She is definitely a veteran on these stage platforms, so you definitely want to go check her out. I'm telling you, she's just a phenomenally talented person all around.
Thank you.
So we know that you're married. So tell us about married life a little bit, and just and how because there are a lot of women I believe that are out there, trying to be a gospel artist or whatever, and tell them how do you navigate, trying to be balanced with your marriage and how that works with ministry and all that.
Well, it's really a great experience. I'm married to Dalton Domingue. We've been married for 18, my king.
Dalton, that's my boy.
We've been married for 18 years. And here's the thing. When you pray and ask God for your mate, God said be specific. And I truly know that God will give you desires of your heart, and he will give you what you need. And so for me, I had been single for a long time, not really just, wanting to marry or thinking, okay, I just had to, because I was okay with CeCe. But then God, I think, he knew at the time that I would need a covering. I would need a prayer partner. I would need someone to be with me during this time of ministry. I didn't know it at the time, but he knew. So I met my husband at my church. Where we would go to, I met him at church. And it was just such a blessing. I knew that he was the one. I knew that he was the one. And he's been a blessing to me. He's my motivator. He's my prayer partner. He's there when I want to give up. He's that leaning shoulder for me. When I have a little tear to shed, he's there. He's been there. He supports me. He prays for me. And he's there with me everywhere. When you see me, trust and believe, you're going to see him too.
It's true.
He's my personal manager. And I think that when you with someone who know the calling on your life, then you don't really have a problem in your marriage, in your ministry, of what you're trying to do, because we're a team. Right. So when you're a team, we're not working against each other. He's not working against me with what I do or trying to stop me for what God has called me to do, because he recognizes the gift that God has given me. So when I win, he wins. We win together.
That is so awesome. And again, I can attest, because you know, when I've seen you sing at many places, I always see him. So
Yes.
you're right. And I just think that's beautiful to have a spouse that supports what you do in ministry. Because, you know, a lot of people have those challenges. And I frankly know some people who don't have the support of their spouse in ministry. And it's hard, whether that's a pastor and his wife is not on board, or in your case, which I see is more frequent, that you have a female artist that's married and her husband is not really supportive or understanding of the demands that the ministry has, especially once you reach a certain level of notoriety and popularity. So it's really beautiful to see you two. And I just pray that y'all keep on trucking for years and years and years to come. I look forward to seeing y'all in so many other things. Excuse me. So that's beautiful. I know you said, you know, you talked about meeting your husband at church. So shout your church out right quick.
Yeah, well, my church is Impact Church in Dallas, Texas. Pastor Dr. Cecelia Godbolt-Domingue is my pastor. Yes, and they are such great supporters also of me. So I appreciate that. Impact,
yeah. Well, that's awesome. And again, you know, we all know as believers and you know, artists in this field, creatives in this field, that it's important to have a spiritual covering and all of that good stuff. So it's good to know that, you know, you have that foundation that can help you, like you said, through this process and all of that. Well, listen, I'm excited because, again, you know, this platform, we're reaching some great things. I'm really pleased to announce that we're going to be covering the 35th Annual Stellar Awards this year in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks. So I'm really, thank you. Really excited about that, to be there on the red carpet to do some coverage. So I look forward to bringing all of our viewers some exciting coverage from that event and all of the surrounding events as well. We're also going to be All Access Gospel. As a quick programming note, we're going to also be covering the Uncle G Record Showcase in Las Vegas on Wednesday, March the 25th. And then we're also going to be at the Urban Soul Cafe 15th anniversary brunch. And that is going to be headlined by Jonathan McReynolds and Bree Babineau. It's going to be a great time. And then I'm proud to say my artist, I have an artist that I manage. Her name is Robin McGee. And CeCe, of course, you know her.
Yes, that's my little sister, Robin. Yeah, y'all, I tell you, that's a force to be reckoned with. Get ready. Get ready. Yes.
Yeah, we're excited about what God is doing with her. And, you know, she's going to be on both of those showcases. And so I'll be covering both of those. And then I'll also be covering the red carpet for the Stellars and the actual show. So exciting things are happening. And I thank you, CeCe, again for being along for the ride and all of that. Now, I want to close, as we close to round out the interview, I want you to speak to the up-and-coming artists that are out there. Maybe they're struggling. They don't really know where to start. They don't know, you know, a lot about the industry. Speak to them and kind of tell them some of your experiences and how you think they can navigate through them.
Well, first and foremost, you definitely need to have a prayer life. Because you will need a lot of praying on the journey. It's not, and what up and coming artists need to understand is that it does not happen overnight. Right. It does not happen over a week or two. It's a work. Yeah. It's sacrifices. It's commitment.
Can you say that W word again? I think they need to hear that. It's a what?
It's work. It's work. It's commitment, dedication, sacrifices that you have to make. And if you're not willing to do that, then you need to rethink about pursuing that ministry, because it's not going to come easy. No, it's not. But I would say, make sure you center yourself around those people who can help you, who can support you, motivate you, and pray for you, and be there with you to help you get to where you need to be. And also make sure that you're listening to God for direction. That this is really, really what, you know, I'm supposed to be doing. Well, God, I need you to, you know, show me, let me know. Because a lot of people are doing it just because. They're doing it just because of fame and, you know, money and all that, or thinking that they are, you know, going to arrive, you know, to this or to that platform or whatever. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So if you're thinking that way, then I would say don't do it. Because first of all, it's ministry. It is not the entertaining or performing, at least not for me. It's ministry. And if you don't have that in your heart and mind, then you get lost out here. I mean, and then too, get you someone who can work with you, work for you. You know, get you someone you can trust, a manager or a personal manager, or someone who can do a lot of work for you, but yet you can trust, and you guys are on the same level because you are supposed to be a team. You know, don't get anybody who's trying to take advantage of you. Make sure that you know, read the fine print, the contracts and all that. Make sure you know what you're signing. And don't just do it just to say, okay, I'm in a contract, or I'm on this label or whatever. Make sure you know what you're doing. Because I tell you, if you don't, it's hard out here.
Yeah.
It's hard out here
Well,
if you're not equipped and not ready for it.
Yeah, and I actually want to press on something you said, because I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding, you know, people always talk about, well, we didn't come to entertain and we didn't come to do this. I personally believe, and this is just me, that we have to find the balance between that aspect, because we are in the music industry. And what I often tell people is, there is a certain entertainment aspect to what we do whenever we get outside of the four walls of the church, and whenever we start doing things like recording records, or doing live events, or like live concerts and shows. Because one of the things I was talking to Robin, my artist, and I was telling her, I've shared over the years in my role as an artist manager for several different artists. I've been blessed to work with some of the greats, and even just, you know, at a more distant level, you know, working with people like Twinkie Clark, and having friends like B. Slade and others who talk about the longevity piece of being in this industry. It's a fine line to walk, really. Because it is ministry, but at the same time, there are certain key components that every artist needs to know. We don't really have time in this interview, but I want you guys to know that All Access Gospel is preparing a platform for singers and artists and creatives to come to, so that you guys can learn in depth a lot of the stuff that CeCe was telling you guys about, which I think was some phenomenal advice that you were giving them, because that's stuff that they need to know. But I wanted to wrap up this interview with something fun, CeCe.
But wait a minute, can I say one thing to piggyback on what you were saying about that, with the ministry entertaining? I would say this, and I get what you're saying. Just don't lose yourself.
I think that's a good point.
Just don't lose yourself in the midst of it. That's what I say. Yes.
That's an excellent point, and an excellent way to button up that particular thing. Now, CeCe, we're gonna have a little fun, okay?
What we gonna do?
So I want to do something. First of all, I need you to tell people something fun or funny about CeCe Godbolt that they probably would not have guessed or thought about, and I'm gonna leave it at your discretion.
Oh my God, help me, babe.
but we're just gonna have a little fun, you know, because I think, you know, sometimes I'm gonna give you a little time to think about it. I'm gonna say this while you're thinking about it.
Okay.
Something that I think is missing a lot is that they don't see gospel artists in particular as human, or even regular people. It's always like, oh, we got this cloak of righteousness on all the time, and there's nothing that funny ever happens to us, or we don't experience life like everybody else, but we do. And so I just want to end this on a high note. What is something quirky, funny, memorable about CeCe Godbolt that people?
Well, let me tell you. One of the funny things, though, that happened to me not too long ago.
Okay.
I was doing a scissor reel for this play that, well, not a play, but the movie that we're trying to do, and I had to put on this little elf costume with the little thing out and the big, you know what? And we were in downtown Dallas filming, and then we had to run, and I ran and I fell, but I did. But I got up and kept on going, and that was the funniest, embarrassing moment for me. But another thing too, I'm gonna tell you about CeCe.
Okay.
Now I will whip you in some spades.
Oh, CeCe, don't
come for me.
CeCe, don't start. Cause CeCe,
don't come for me.
CeCe,
I love my spade game. Hold
up, CeCe, hold up. See, because you done brought up something that you already know. I am the spades king.
No. I'm the spade queen, and my king is the spade king. No, bro. Don't come for us.
I tell you what, CeCe, I need you to set up a game. I'll bring my partner with me, my spades partner. I'm sure Mr. Dalton probably your spades partner.
And he is.
And we can see what it is.
Okay.
And then we can come back and do a follow-up to this interview and tell the people what it was.
Wait a minute, and listen, we ain't gonna fall out when I beat you, okay?
Oh, look, hey, y'all hear this, right? So I just want to be on record so that when CeCe and Mr. Dalton get whooped like they stole something.
Oh my God.
She said it. Ain't no hard feelings, okay?
Okay.
So listen, anyway, I just want to thank you so much, CeCe, for this great interview and just for sharing yourself and sharing your talent. Thank you, Mr. Dalton, as well, for allowing your wife to be a part of everything that I'm doing.
Thank you.
I know they're like, this guy is crazy, but I still mean Jesus in these last days.
We thank you. We appreciate you also.
Yes, absolutely. So, CeCe, before we wrap this up, go ahead and let everybody know again how they can reach you on social media.
Okay, I am out there on Facebook, Cecelia Godbolt-Domingue, Twitter at CeCe Godbolt, Instagram at CeCe Godbolt. My website is www.cecegodbolt.net. You go on my website, you can book me, contact me, whatever on my website. I'm out there, y'all. Yes. You can Google me. You'll find me.
Yes. Book her, you guys. Again, phenomenal, talented. And one of the things, and I'm going to say this as we wrap up, but CeCe, what I love about your voice is guys, if you're needing someone with a pure tone, her tone is just, it's heavenly. Seriously. Truly heaven sent. Humble to work with. Always been easy to work with. Every time I've asked her to come, she's come. She's never been a diva. You know, some of these gospel artists, CeCe, Lord have mercy. I ain't gonna get on that, but that's a whole other show.
That's another topic.
I'm about to have a panel where I bring you on, so we can talk about that. But yeah, but anyway, she's a great talent. Please book her, you guys. If you need someone to come to your church service, a conference, live recording, stage plays, I'm telling you, this is your lady. She does it all. All right, so CeCe Godbolt, everybody in the building. Thank you again, CeCe. We love you. You know that. We love what you do. Continue to pray great things for you. And thank you again for being the first artist on All Access Gospel in the Artist Corner. So we love you.
Thank you.
And take care. God bless. All right, y'all. It's your boy, Derrick Huggins. That's our Indie Artist Corner for today with our special guest, CeCe Godbolt. Please go get her music, her new album. Make it happen on digital outlets everywhere. All right, CeCe. We'll talk to you later. God bless.
All right. Thank you. All right.